this video, I'm going to talk about my path from high school to medical school. I have definitely had a non-traditional background, and my path to medical school was convoluted, to say the least. This video is solely to show you a path and to show you that you don't have to be a genius or be pre-med to be admitted to medical school. Alright, let's start in high school. Most of high school, I was a very math-heavy, physics-heavy guy. I loved and still love numbers. I took AP Calculus, AP Stats, AP Physics, AP Macroeconomics, AP Computer Science, and etc. I did not like biology, and I did not even take honors biology. My plan after high school was to do mechanical engineering in college, then do some army time as an engineer, then do my MBA after army, and ultimately get into finance and work in Wall Street and make loads of money. And that's exactly what I did to an extent. I graduated high school and enrolled into Rutgers School of Engineering. I did mechanical engineering with a concentration in aerospace. I excelled in engineering because it was math, calculus, physics, and numbers heavy. That was my forte. Again, at this point in undergraduate, I had absolutely no plan to ever pursue medicine. I graduated Rutgers in May 2015 and then commissioned as an engineer officer in the US Army. At this point, I was working full-time, and after a quick 6-month training in Missouri, I got stationed in Hawaii. Super awesome. Since I knew I wanted to do finance, 3-year army obligation was over, I spent a lot of time learning the basics of finances like investing, interest rates, loan leverage, tax efficiency, and so on. Then, almost after 2 years of working my full-time job as an engineer and studying finance and investing on my spare time, and practicing it in real life by investing in the stock market and in real estate properties, I found myself wanting to do medicine. Obviously, I'm skipping some of the details of why I decided to go into medicine, but that warrants another video of its own. But the key takeaway is that I was as unfamiliar to medicine as anyone could be. And if I could do it, so can you. You just have to have the right resources, mentorship, and will to follow through. And that's why I made this channel, so that I can maybe help you do just that. Now, let's get back to my timeline. Once I realized I wanted to do medicine, I was at a crossroad. My one option was to get out of the army completely, forego my salary, and completely dedicate 1 full year to fulfilling my prereqs, volunteering, shadowing, etc. Or I stay in the army and do all of that at the same time. Now, mind you, at this point, I wanted to do medicine, but I had my doubts if I truly was cut out for it. Practically my entire life up until then was all math, physics, engineering, and finances. It was all numbers. Now I was going to have to learn life sciences, which at that point was very foreign to me. I was unsure and not confident at all that I would actually be capable of doing it. So I decided to stick with my army job and do my prereqs and pre-med activities simultaneously. My thinking was that if I decided to back out of medicine, at least I have my army job to keep me afloat. By the way, FYI, in army, if you get out of the army as an engineer officer, it is almost impossible to get back in. So I did not feel comfortable leaving a well-paying job if I was not even entirely sure if I wanted to do medicine and if I'm even capable of doing it. Luckily, I do not have a lot of prereqs to still do. I only had to take Bio 1-2 with lab, Organic Chemistry 1 and 2 with lab, 2 behavioral science courses, since mechanical engineering already covered a lot of my prereq courses like physics, calculus, English writing, etc. I started my med school prep in January of 2018. I started off by contacting a bunch of hospitals, clinics, practically anyone that let me volunteer in a medical setting. Some never applied, and some hospitals' timeline did not work for me since I was working full-time. I ended up volunteering in an emergency department in a community hospital on Saturday mornings for 4 hours, and at a homeless clinic every Wednesday evening after work for about 2 hours. As per MCAT and prereqs, I started off with a Princeton Review MCAT prep course, thinking that that course will give me a good foundation of life sciences in an abridged, fast-paced, boot campy way. But I very soon realized that that is not a good strategy. I dropped Princeton Review and I enrolled in Biology 1 with lab at University of New England Online, or UNE Online for short. UNE Online is super flexible, allowing self-paced science courses. I finished Bio 1 with lab in a month. I studied every day after work for 34 hours and 10 to 12 hours on weekends. I then did Organic Chemistry 1 lecture only. That took me about 1.5 months. Then I did Biochemistry. That took, I think, another 1 month. At this point, it was mid-June 2018 when I started studying for my MCAT. I definitely rushed it. I did not even take a full-length practice exam before the actual exam. I took my MCAT exam in July of 2018, and needless to say, I absolutely bombed it when I found out my score in August 2018. I still applied with that score. I shouldn't have, but I did anyways, hoping that I would get in somewhere. And surprise, not even a single interview. But I did not lose all hope because I only did bad in the life sciences parts. Between September 2018 and December 2018, I took Bio 2 with lab. January 2019, I practically did not do anything medicine related because I got extremely busy at work. February 2019 to May of 2019, I started hardcore MCAT prep. As I mentioned in other videos, I did my MCAT prep the second time using a mix of UWorld, Princeton Review Science Workbook, YouTube videos, and lots of Anki and Wikipedia. The gold star prep resource was definitely UWorld. By the way, if you want to know more about how my MCAT prep was, click on my MCAT playlist here. I took my MCAT for the second time in May. After my MCAT in May, I started my medical school applications. I applied through TMD SAS, ACOMAS, and MCAS. I cast my net wide because I honestly did not know how strong my application truly was. The weakest part being that I had online professors' letter of recommendations. I got my MCAT score in June and I did way better than my first time around. And now I was convinced I would get into a medical school somewhere. Pretty much all June and July 2019, I filled out secondary applications for medical schools, and I was also doing Organic Chemistry 1 lab on the side. My first medical school interview was in August of 2019, and pretty much had interviews all throughout November. Along with attending interviews, I was also slowly and steadily doing my online classes. By December, I was done with Organic Chemistry 2 lab. After New Year's, I finished General Chemistry 2 lab and my 2 behavioral science courses. Again, this whole time, I've been working full-time in my regular job as an engineer. So now, it is May 2020, and I'm finally done with all of my prereqs. Remember, I started back in January of 2018, and it is just now, May 2020, that I finally finished all my prereqs. I'll be getting out of the Army next month in June, and then I'll matriculate to medical school in July. Quick note on letter of recs. Medical school requires at least 2 science professors' letter of recommendations. Committee letters are encouraged, but optional. I was in a pickle for this since it was over 6 years since I took those basic science courses in undergraduate. And all my science courses that I was taking now for medical school were online. So I had to ask my online science professors to write my letter of recommendations. Obviously, I knew they're not the strongest letters, but I had to make the best of it. However, I did supplement those letters with very strong letters from my immediate supervisor and a doctor that I shadowed. So don't be discouraged if you don't have the strongest letter of recs from science professors. It is still doable. You can still get in. Now, why did I just tell you my entire path to medical school? I want to show you that it is possible for you to get into medical school. And to show you what your path may look like if you have a non-traditional background and you want to go to medical school. I know many of you may not be willing to sacrifice your salary, or you cannot sacrifice your salary because you and your others are dependent on that salary. Just know that it is definitely possible, but it may take you a bit longer to get into medical school. It practically took me 2.5 years. Alright guys, that's all I have for you in this video. I hope this was helpful, and as always, please let me know if you have any questions, and please like, share, and subscribe.